At different stages of my life, I have been known by different names. And if you would like to know more, then keep watching. Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I am Andri. Welcome. I have been tagged by none other than Mel in Melbourne. Thank you so much, Mel, for thinking of me, for tagging me. So today's video is 50 random facts about me. People, those of you that have been with me for a while will know a lot of these things, but maybe I will surprise you with the odd one. You know what's coming next, people. Grab your favourite beverage. I have my organic Pinot Grigio. You can ring my bell, you can subscribe, and a thumbs up is always very much appreciated. And I love to hear what you've got to say in the comments below, and give me one random fact about you in the comments as well that you think I don't know, or something that's going to surprise all of us. Put it down in the comments. Should we get started? 50's a lot, people. Okay, number one. Let's get on to the name thing. On my passport, I have a different name to the one you all know me by, which is Andri. Am I going to tell you? No. But I think I did mention it on a live. It was my very first live. People, I love to share just these special things with special people, and you're my special people. Okay, number two. When I was in primary school, I was known as Angie. Honestly, when I was in primary school, everybody called me Angie. Number three. When I was in high school, I was known as Andy. See, every stage of my life I have been given a different name. So when I was in primary school, everybody called me Angie or Ange, and when I was at high school, it was Andy. See, in fact, I have a gold, even when I was at high school, because it was throughout my high school, and then at this point everybody, my cousins, everybody was calling me Andy, and I have a solid gold name tag, I suppose, that my mum had made for me, and it says Andy on it because that everybody called me Andy. Number four. I was christened Andriana, although on my actual christening certificate it doesn't say that, but my mum said to me, when we christened you Andriana, because that was your kind of the official name of the name that's on your passport. So I was christened Andriana, which I think is a beautiful name. Okay, number five. I am my mum's only child. Okay, so I'm only my mum's only child, but I was, as far as I was concerned, I was both my parents' only child because I'm that person. Number six. When I was a child, so you know how children always want a pet, a dog or a cat or a guinea pig, or you know, one of these random things. Now I begged and begged and begged for a monkey. When I say a monkey, it's probably like a chimpanzee type of monkey that I wanted, because I used to watch Tarzan and Jane. Oh my god, I loved Tarzan and Jane, and I wanted that chimpanzee. Yeah, I wanted a monkey. I was like, I literally would ask my mum and dad for one. Yeah. Number seven will come as no surprise to a lot of you, but I'm bilingual. I speak Greek and I speak English. Well, a lot of people would disagree that. Okay, number eight. Oh, I'm people, you know, when you have to do like 50 random facts about yourself, you're kind of really desperate here. And I put here, I am absolutely debt-free, So I put here I'm absolutely debt free. I am absolutely debt free. I own nothing. I don't have mortgages or anything like that. I'm that person that hates to owe anybody anything. I cannot bear, if I can't bear the fact that I owe anybody anything, and I don't like to borrow anything from anybody. It doesn't sit right with me. I'm just not, you know. Anyway, we'll leave that one there. Number 9. I was born in London. I'm sure for those of you that have been with me forever, you know I was born in London. I lived in London until I met Rico, and then basically he dragged me to Scotland, which I absolutely love, which is now my home. Number 10, I've lived in Scotland most of my life. Okay, I basically covered that in number 9. 11, I am a terrible swimmer. So anything that I wasn't good at, I made sure the boys were really good at. So I didn't ever go, my mum and dad were always working and, you know, trying to build a business and all that, and I don't hold any of that against them. But, you know, they never put me into like swimming lessons. They just didn't have the time. That's the way it was then. So I learned to swim from going to Cyprus every year, being in the sea with my cousins and all of that. In fact, one of my eldest cousins from my dad's side took me out. All my cousins in Cyprus were always all fantastic swimmers, because obviously they were, you know, especially the ones from my dad's side, because they were in Bathos, they were in Bolis, they were kind of brought up beside the sea. And one of my really eldest cousins, who was really quite a lot older than me, who was a fantastic swimmer, diver and all of that, took me out into the sea, and he was kind of just taking me along, and then let me go. And that's basically, I was just like, ugh. And I can kind of stay afloat basically, but I'm a terrible swimmer. My boys are superb swimmers. They went to swimming lessons and all of that. So yeah, I'm a lousy swimmer. Number 12, and also I cannot ice skate, because again, as a child I never ever went ice skating. My boys are superb ice skaters. 2 of them are ice hockey players. I put them all into ice hockey. The 2 of them just went on and are still in ice hockey teams. My youngest is more into climbing now. He does like mountain climbing and all, well, kind of the, you know, the fake mountain climbing and all that. Number 13, I cannot ski. My boys can ski. So I say to you, so I sent the boys off to ski trips and all of that, so they can all ski. I cannot ski. I am rubbish. I've tried as an adult, but you know what it's like when you're an adult, you don't have that same confidence as you do when you're younger, when you just go for things. Everything is like, oh, I'm gonna fall, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it. In fact, we went on a dry slope one year. All of us went together, like you know, my daughter-in-laws, the boys and all that, because I wanted to give it a try. We went, and honestly, I was that person where I was going, get out of the way, and crashed into everybody. Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Everybody, you know, a lot of people assume because I go to the gym and I work out and all of that, that I am good at all of these sports. No. Okay, let's go on to things that I have done. You know, so I did a depilation course, which is waxing, removal of hair, basically, removal of hair. 15, I did a dance to exercise course. 16, I studied business at college. Okay, 17, I was sitting my business exams whilst planning my wedding. People. Yep, and I did well in both. Okay, number 18. Let's get on to all the food, fatty food things that I have. Number 18. I cannot eat cut fruit that someone has touched. I mean, absolutely under no circumstances can I eat a fruit that somebody else has touched. Not even Rico. Rico cuts my salads and all of that, and I'm fine with it. But when it comes to fruit, I can't do it. I can't. I can't. Even thinking about it, I can't do it. And I know somebody's going to put in the comments, what if somebody offered you this amount of millions of pounds? People, let's be serious. Of course, I'm going to do it for X amount of millions of pounds. Do you know what I mean? So, but it's one of my things. It really turns me off if somebody has cut fruit. And I've often wondered why, and I think I have a slight recollection of eating a fruit and smelling somebody's perfume or aftershave on the fruit, and it put me off. So the fruit didn't smell of the fruit, or there was a smell of the person that was cutting the fruit. There was a smell of their aftershave or something. This was as a child on the fruit, and from that day onwards I could not eat a fruit that somebody else had touched. And I think that's where it stems from. See, there's always a reason behind things. The other thing is, with salads, I'm not so bad with salads. I can eat salads depending on how they look. I cannot go a squashed tomato in a salad, but I can be quite funny about salads because I think it's to do with that reminding me of the smell that shouldn't have been. I don't know. I can be quite funny with salads, but not as bad with fruit as well. I think it's the freshness of something. So when something's been cooked, it's fine, but it's just the fact that it's the touching. But I can do it with a salad, but it depends on how it looks and how it smells. I know I sound really weird. I can't explain it, but I know what's going on in my head. Number 20. I cannot eat an egg outside. I cannot eat an egg if the door is open and the air from outside is coming in. It changes the taste of an egg. I can't. It's just, I have many, I love an egg, I enjoy an egg, but it's like when the boys were younger, we used to go to Cyprus and they'd order fry-ups, right? And they'd have fried eggs in the plate, and in Cyprus they would put fresh cucumber and fresh tomatoes with an egg on a fry-up. Oh, it used to churn my stomach. I used to look at the boys and I used to go, are you going to eat that? Like I was the mother and I was saying to my children, are you going to eat that egg with the cucumber? And they're going, oh, that's yummy. And I'm like, the thought of cucumber and egg, it's just combinations of foods. I have no idea why I have this weirdness with food, but honestly, it honestly does make sense in my head. I know it probably sounds really stupid to you, but it really does make sense to me. Number 21, sticking with cucumbers, right? I like a cucumber. I can cut a cucumber, put salt on it, eat it, lovely. But the smell of cucumber when somebody else is eating it, no! I'm fine when I'm eating it, but if somebody else is eating it and the smell of the cucumber churns my stomach. Don't ask me why, people. It just, so if I'm sitting here and I'm not eating cucumber and somebody else is eating cucumber, and I can smell that, oh, I cannot stand the smell of cucumber. I can't. But it's the same with wine. You know I enjoy a glass of wine. Cheers, by the way. See if Rico's had a glass of wine and I've not been drinking wine. I cannot stand the smell of wine. when he's speaking to me on his breath, or I can't. I think it stinks. Yeah, you all know I enjoy a glass of wine, but when you're not drinking it and you can smell it off somebody else, it stinks. No. Number 21, continuing on all my weirdness about bananas. I cannot stand people eating a banana. I can't, and that's one of the worst fruits. So if somebody's supposing somebody's cutting a banana and gives you a banana, I can't. The indentation of somebody's fingers on a banana, oh no, I can't. Or if somebody's peeling a banana, like even my grandchildren, like if Georgie's in a car and she's desperate for a banana, I will beg her, do not eat that banana, and then they hand you, the banana skin. No, I can't. Can I eat a banana? If I'm in the notion for a banana, I really enjoy a banana. I don't like the overcooked brown skinned bananas. Ugh. No, I like bananas that are more kind of that crisp yellowness, but I'm not a fan of fruit. For me to eat fruit, I have to take that notion of I've got, I have a fancy for it, I'll eat it and then never touch it again for months on end. That's the way I am. But I can't stand somebody else eating a banana and then no, and then there's the wee things that hang off the banana, you know, the wee strings. No, I can't look at someone. I can't. I can't do it. But I eat bananas, I eat cucumbers, I eat all of them. See, even I'm saying that and I'm thinking banana, cucumber too. No. Okay, number 22 here, it says I cannot eat a ripe banana, and I've already mentioned that in 21. Okay, 23, right. You know, like I said, trying to think of 50 facts and blah blah blah, it's hard. So, 23. It says here, the note was just to remind me of the story. It says, I once had to clean a stranger's poo off the walls and stairs in the restaurant. People, this is a story. I have told this story many times, and I think it's because even I cannot believe this happened. Have I said this story before? I think I have told it before a long time ago. I kind of tell a lot of stories in vlogs and things. Anyway, so basically we were in the restaurant and one of our regular customers came down and she said to me, Andri, you really need to go upstairs and check your restrooms because they are in some state. And I'm like, all right, okay. So the way the restaurant was, there was like a stairway, and halfway up the stairs was the gents, and then further up was the ladies, and right at the ground floor was the disabled toilets. Anyway, so I started walking up the stairs, which were all carpeted, and I could see all this basically poo on the stairs going up and leading up to the ladies' toilets, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I went up into the ladies' toilets, I walked in, I opened one of the cubicles, and when I tell you, I have never ever seen anything like this in my entire life. There was poo, human poo, all up the walls, up on the door. So you walk in, so here is the door, and in front of the door is the toilet, the WC, okay, in the cubicle, and then it's the side walls, and there was poo on the side walls all the way up. There was poo up on the door, poo everywhere, and I'm like, oh my god. So just to backtrack, what had happened was we had a large table in the restaurant of all young people, well dressed, kind of what we would have called in those days yuppies, you know, well-to-do youngsters, really well dressed. There was one particular girl who came in who was absolutely stunning, beautiful figure, beautiful face, beautiful everything. And it was, remember years ago when it was kind of fashionable that your thong showed through the top, you know, it was okay, it was accepted. I mean, people, I had them with wee diamantes on the top. It was kind of the accepted thing that you would see the top of the thong, because everything was low-waisted and then the thong would show up on the top. Those were the days. It happened, people, okay? And so she walked in, and of course the younger waiters were like, oh, she's beautiful, it's a nice table, it's all, and they were all commenting, you know, you could see the colour of her thong basically. So she went up to the toilet and came back down, and one of the waiters said, she's got a different colour thong on, like that. And then there was a smell. One of the waiters said to me, you know, one of the younger waiters said to me, she's changed, she's got a different thong. And I'm going, oh, go away, don't talk rubbish, like blah 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 blah. And then he's going, look at her, there's this like poo on the back of her, like you can see, you know, her lower back. And he's going, there's poo and there's a smell coming off her. And I'm going, oh, go away, don't. He goes, I'm telling you, blah blah blah. And then I got the alert from one of our regular customers that this had gone on. So literally, there was obviously something wrong with this young girl, something seriously wrong. What I didn't understand was why she didn't just leave. Our cloakroom was right next to, like, when you came down the stairs, it was our cloakroom, and we always had a cloakroom person, so she could have simply asked for her coat and left. She was in a party, got her partner, got her coat and left, but she didn't. She came back and sat down at the table. Anyway, I went up. When I checked all of this, I came down, my mother-in-law was in the bar, and I said to my mother-in-law wasn't, I mean, she was a woman of hard work, she was a worker, and I says to her, and my mother-in-law was very much, so obviously we had cleaners in the restaurant, we had kitchen porters and all of that. My mother-in-law was very much, no, we need to do this ourselves. And I'm like, honestly, I was like, no, please don't, like that. My mother-in-law said, we are cleaning this, and I'm like, oh my god. My mother-in-law left the bar, rolled up her sleeves, and she's up there with Rico, scrubbing down the walls, scrubbing everything. I was like, I'll clean the carpet. I'll just do the carpet. Honestly, it was like, and I'm cleaning the wee drips that, you know, on the carpet. So honestly, anyway, back to the table. So she eventually got up and left with her partner, and the waiter just rushed over, grabbed the seat, which was stained, and just kind of quickly took it away. You know, in the restaurant, we acted as if nothing had happened. This was, the conversation was all between us. But it's a shame that it happened. For me, I just couldn't understand how it ended up on the walls. I can't, that's, for me, was the thing that I could not understand. How did it, when I tell you it ended up, it was up on the walls and up on the door. So I don't know what the problem was, but there was obviously a problem. And it was at that time when Do you remember there was these tablets out where people were taking them and you wouldn't absorb fat, but you would end up pooing everything out? So I don't know, there was obviously something wrong, but yeah, honestly, that was just awful for them, and something I just, it was the fact that it was all over the walls that I couldn't get. Right, let's leave that one there. 24. I've always considered myself a lucky person. You know how you get optimists and pessimists, and I'm always an optimist. I always think there's a way of there's a way of getting through something. There's always, you know, I never ever believe that something can't be done. I always think there's a way of doing something. I don't know where that came from. I don't know if it's the way I was brought up, but I always feel I'm gonna get what I want, and I don't know where that stems from. I've always been an optimist. Rico is such a pessimist. Honestly, I think it's starting to change with me giving him that yeah. But me, I always my glass is always half full. It's never half empty, people. Never. Cheers. Going on the same theme, 25, I would rather try something and fail at it than regret that I didn't give it a go. I would hate to be that person that thinks I should have done that. I would rather do something, and if I failed, at least I've tried. That's the type of personality I have. 26, I'm a very proud grandmother and mother. Being a mum for me has been like the best thing ever, like the best. Nothing for me, it's what I always wanted to do. You know when they say, what's your career, what would you like to do, da, da, da. For me, being a mum, for me, that's just, might not sound much to anybody else, but for me, that was my ultimate goal, was to be a mum. It just fulfilled me, being a mum, everything about it. Number 27, and a lot of you will know this one, but 27, I was married at the grand old age of 17. I was engaged at 16 and got married at 17. And by the way, my marriage was not an arranged marriage. I know a lot of people think it was. I had this discussion with my cousins in Cyprus because they all assumed as well that Rico and I had an arranged marriage, and I explained to them the whole process of how Rico and I met. It certainly wasn't arranged on my side, so it wasn't an arranged marriage. And I've done videos on how Rico and I met, our wedding and all of that, and I'll link all of that below just in case you're a wee newbie. I had all my children before I was 30. Number 28, I think I had them all by the time I was 28. Or was it 29? Can't remember. Number 29, I only have 2 scars on my body. One is my hysterectomy scar, and number 2 is this one here. I don't know if it's gonna pick up. Oops, I need to hide my face. Right there. You'll see it right there. And I think, oh, I was still in primary school when I got that scar. For a long while I had a burn scar on my thigh as well, but it's gone. And again, that was another story. I had a severe burn where I was actually referred for skin grafts on my thigh. After kind of going to specialists, they said to me I didn't need a skin graft, and the burns went away. But I had vlogged all that at the time. I had boiled some milk for Georgie and it spilt onto my thigh, But anyway, that's another story that's been said in the past. Number 30, talking about my thighs, I have a birthmark, very small birthmark on my thigh, and my mum says, so there's this myth or saying, like, and my mum said, like, when you're pregnant, if you have a notion for something, like an apple for example, and there's no apples about, and you touch yourself, if you touch yourself there'll be an imprint of whatever you're craving, basically. And my mum says she was craving, what is that fruit in geisha? What is that? Is that an apricot? It's geisha, apricot, I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you're Greek and you know. But it's a fruit, a small fruit I think it was, and she said she touched her thigh and so the imprint gets left on the child, and she says it's on my thigh. I just had this little brown mark on my thigh, so that's my birthmark. Number 31, I have been married, or I will be married on the 20th of this month for 41 years. I know, I don't look old enough. Number 32. So when I was young, my cousin, a male cousin of mine, he was older than me, just a couple of years older than me, would make me wrestle with all his friends because I was so good at, not wrestle as in wrestle, arm wrestling, because I was so strong at arm wrestling and so good at arm wrestling, and I was quite a petite, you know, I wasn't a big child, I was a petite child and didn't look as if I would be that strong. And he would go, oh, I dare you to arm wrestle my cousin, so he'd have me arm wrestling all his friends, and of course I was beating them. That was my ring, by the way, that was my diamond ring I just slapped. Okay, number 33, I've never been able to cartwheel. I just have never ever been able to cartwheel. It's getting dark. It's getting late, people. We need to finish this and we're only on number 33. Number 34, how my channel name was created. So, channel name, Andri's World. So, my channel name was created because I would like, sometimes when I would chat with Kelly, and I would say to, she would say to me, why are you keeping this dress, or blah blah blah, and I would rather than say, oh, this would be ideal for when I'm on the red carpet. She goes, oh, here we go, we in Andri's World again. So there was born my channel name, Andri's World, like living in my own wee world. 35. So you know how I'm this healthy eater, healthy this, that and the other. I used to smoke, people. Oh, listen, see, when I was growing up, it was the in thing, it was the cool thing to do, smoke, blah 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 blah. So I was a smoker. I'm an ex-smoker, people. Kind of gave it up when I was creating babies, didn't want to do it, and then never did it again. Rico was also a smoker, and he stopped. His is a very interesting story when he stopped smoking. I'll get to it in one of the other ones because it'll come, I'll explain later on in one of the other ones. Oh, 36, I've scored it out, I don't know what it was, so I think we're going to be one short here, never mind, there's enough. 37, I am the youngest cousin on my dad's side, so I'm the youngest of all the cousins on my dad's side. People, I'm desperate. Number 38, and if you watch my empties you'll know this, I am not a wasteful person. I take great joy in emptying a product. Even if I don't like it, I need to finish things off or give them to somebody that's going to use them up. I cannot throw something away that's still got product in it. I'm not a wasteful person, and I think that's got to do a lot with my upbringing. I was brought up never to waste anything, and even to the point where I literally remember my mum sewing the holes up in my socks, and the way she used to do it was she would put an egg in the sock and sew the sock up. So that's the way I was brought up, and it stuck with me. I am just I cannot waste anything. I cannot waste food. I will use up food. I will use up anything rather than throw it away. 39. I have no broken bones. I have never broken a bone, people. Never. Please God, not now. Number 40. I hate body hair. Like, not on men or anything like that, like on myself. I cannot bear. I hate hair on my face, arms, legs, anywhere. I love hair on my head. The only place I want hair is on my head, on my eyebrows and on my eyelashes, and I don't want it anywhere else. And I think we need it in our nose as well, because when my friend Gula was going through her cancer treatment, she was seeing that all the hairs had fallen out of her nose, and it meant she was very sniffly. So I just want it in the places that you need it. Like, I probably need it in my nostrils and things like that, but apart from that, people, I can't stand it on legs, body. No, I can't. No. Number 41, I have one tattoo right there. I think you've all seen it. There it is. I think you can catch a wee peek of it there. I would like another one. Don't know what. I think I would like one on my foot. I've always wanted one on my foot. Number 42, I absolutely love my culture. As a child, I didn't appreciate it. The older I get, it means so much more to me, and I can't believe the person that I'm turning into. I'm so different to how I used to be. I really appreciate my culture and love to share it now. Okay, this one's going to be quite morbid. Number 43, I hate the fact that one day I'm not going to be here. The fact that I'm not going to be here, to me, is still quite unbelievable, quite frightening. Right, I'm going to leave that one there. The morbid one, and it's something people don't talk about. And I remember asking my gran, who probably wasn't that old at the time, but to me seemed a lot older, and I said to her, are you scared of dying? And she looked at me, she went, no. And in our religion, you know, dying is like a rebirth, and it's not something to be afraid of, it's something to look forward to. But I've still not got to grips with that bit. I can't. The thought of it still terrifies me, that I still cannot believe that I'm not going to be here. Number 44, I still miss my mum desperately. Okay, so I'm going to break this up. So number 45, I'm going to share with you, number 45, I'm going to share with you my most frightening moments of my life. So, number 46, and this is the one I was going to come back to. So, one of my sons was rushed into hospital and basically was limp with an asthma attack. Couldn't catch his breath, which has made me paranoid about my cleaning and moving beds and all of that. And I've spoken about that in the past, and it's since then that I became paranoid when my eldest son was rushed to hospital, like limp, because of an asthma attack. And from that day it was like, you don't know what triggers their asthma. So I became paranoid about no dust in the house. I'm a lot better now, but that's what has made me paranoid about cleaning. It was when my son was basically, yeah. Number 47, again, the same son got the meningitis virus, and this is when Rico gave up smoking. He was in hospital with Costa. I had George at the time as a baby, and he was he went in with Costa, and Costa had to have the thing in his spine for meningitis and all of that, and it was at that point Rico had given up smoking. These were real scary moments as a mother. 48 was another big one. One of my sons was in Qatar working. He was sponsored to go over, so because he was sponsored, they'd taken his passport, and he decided he just didn't like it and wanted to come back home. and they refused to give him his passport and wouldn't let him out the country. People, we've been through a lot. 49 was the time when one of my sons was in a major car crash and basically needed cut out of the car. And when Rico went to see the car, he looked at the car and says, I don't know how they survived in that car. It was a total write-off. And I remember when I arrived, I got the call, and I remember when I arrived at the hospital, they handed me, look, always wore a cross, still wears a cross, and they handed it to me. They'd taken it off him to do whatever they needed to do, and I just looked at that and I just said, thank you God that he's still alive. Thank you for saving him. And number 50 is, as small as my channel is, I'm very proud of it, and I'm very thankful to all of you that take the time, your special time, to watch my daily vlogs and connect with me. It just means so much to me. My channel really does mean a lot to me, as you all do, and I just like to say thank you. So there we go, that's my 50 random things about me. If you've lasted this long, thank you so much. I'm going to tag a few of my friends down in my description box to carry on with the tag. Thank you again to Mel for thinking of me, and if you would like to see more videos, I'm going to link one here, and if you're not already subscribed, it's right here, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.